Hey guys, this is Shantae with Thousand Sugar Talks. Okay, I don't know what's up with the little voice today, but this is the last one. So it's like Peter Claver. He was a saint of Farseers, and he like baptized 300,000 people. Um, Sometimes because I don't know as much as I think I need to know. I don't like to go like really go into their lives a lot, because really that's all I'm doing is looking at and reading. But he was from Colombia, ministry to African Americans due to his devotion and care of enslaved people. Um, I think that's cool as long as it wasn't like something based on like which it was based on slavery. So I believe that at some point that's what had to change. And so I don't want to like toot his horn a whole lot because of the history of how religion actually has a negative effect instead of a positive effect on African Americans. I am only into Catholicism because of the first thing that attracted me was the art. But then the next thing is that for whatever reason, and I always think God or some spirit plays a part in it. My mother's friend at the time, she wanted me to go with her to the Catholic Church, so to pray and light candles and stuff. So she took me like a couple times, and I don't know, it's like I really kind of got into it. Like I was like, whoa, like what if I studied it? So when I started studying the art, that's when I really realized how much symbolism it was. And then I also realized how it related to my own art. So even with my own art, I would start to use symbols to create different things. Like one of my greatest pieces, man, it is so deep, but and I hope it's still there. I hope it's broken. I know it's broken, but I hope it's still there. But it's like it was just a huge symbolism of just different things. And so I started to do that. I started to make pieces that symbolized other things, like a rose cup. I had like a piece where you could open my mind and pull out the thoughts that were inside. I also had, I've had some good pieces. I think some of them I'm going to revisit again just because I know that they were that dope. But I don't know. It's like I think it's something good about making simple art. The watercolor, because it doesn't feel like I have to perfect it. I like it. Um, if I work on a big piece, I feel like I have to perfect it. And so then it's almost like, and it might not look perfect to you. I'm not a neat artist. But that's just how it is. So like even with my flags, I don't think they're finished. So I really want to get them and get back to work. But anyway, so then I thought, well, let me go over the 42 ideas of my art, which is, if you find on the internet, I think the person that I got the best list from for real was Erykah Badu, and it's just a list with like an Egyptian woman on it. Um, that's the best list I got because the rest of them is almost like you got to decipher what it's saying into simpler terms. It's almost like don't kill, don't steal, whatever. But this one is like is a better version of it. I'm not gonna repost it because I don't know how it belongs to somebody or if it goes to somebody, whatever. But anyway, so I would go over five of them. I guess it's Sunday. So I honor virtue. For me, I would have to look up virtue first. So that's what I'm doing right now. Give me 1 second because I really did not look at it before I started. So virtue. I know virtue is like where you are true, and I do. Y'all, I'm serious. Like I love me a virtuous man. I'm sorry, or a virtuous person. I remember I saw this woman, man. She was losing her job and she needed her job, and she went back to the moral excellence, goodness, and righteousness. So this story is perfect for this. So she was losing her job. Y'all know I done had some sucky ass jobs, and this was one of the reasons why I want to leave her too. So this is my third year at the job, and I had already seen her fuck over so many people. So finally, this woman comes in the office and she's like crying. I don't know if she's homeless or something like that. Like she went through a lot of stuff, and I guess she was asking for her job back, and the woman was telling her no. But the thing was, she was one of the best people that worked there. She like came in, work on time. She did extra work for other people. I mean, she was one of the dopest people that I had ever met. And I'm like, what is wrong with this woman? Like, what did she go through? Like, what is it that they told people? Like, what's going on? That's why I'm like, I know this got something to do with this fucking place. So anyway, that made me like, why would they do that to her? It's just like a big question. Why would you put her through that? Like, she was such a great person and probably still is. Like, I mean, prayerful, everything. And, like, sometimes you meet people, they prayerful and they'll be all behind people's back. What show was that where the woman stole the coat at the charity? It's like she one of the top dog Christians. She and her breaking down the rules, what people can and can't do, and she and her stealing coats. It's like, well, give me a coat too. If she didn't, what I'm saying, it wasn't the same consideration for herself as she had for other people. So it's like with her, this woman was like for real, and I'm like, I snap off about church and all this different stuff. For real, a good person. And this woman actually tried to smash her, like just crush her. That's why I'm like, girl, you messing with the wrong people. She down today, baby, but I hope she up tomorrow. It's like I just seen so many people that had this issue with this woman, and then after that they end up being great people. Like, it's another person, I think she's now like a Christian, she's now like a Christian DJ or a singer or something like that. But it's like, at least they rise. It's like this. I don't know why people feel like they belong to them or something. But yeah, it's like I do. For real, morality, excellence, I do. I love it. That's why I love me some gangsters, y'all. That's why it be like, I know people have this like really, really messed up idea about thugs and stuff. But it's like every time I think about it, I'm like, that's why. It's just something about that. It's something that's pure about it. It's like stick to the codes, It's like I just went around no dirty people at first. Like, just dirty people. Just dirty. They dirty. But anyway, yeah, so I honor virtue. So it's almost like I always used to tell my kids too, like, as it relates back to schools, I caught you doing something good. I caught you doing something good. And the reason why is because I want their goodness to be recognized and welcomed. I want that to be something that's very honest and great about them. I do. I honor virtue. I benefit with gratitude. I'm always gracious. Like, I hate when people are like, well, I did this, and it's like, well, we did it. I know some people would think that a teacher would say, well, for real, I have heard teachers say, well, my class is gonna, and last year they had this person, so they don't have this, they don't know this. And it's like, well, don't look at it as a negative, because that's just her, that's her personality. So it's almost like you accept what has been given to you. So I benefit with gratitude. So it's always, you got to give that full kindness or whatever. Like, it's almost like when you, because you have to think about, if somebody was kind to you, they didn't really have to be. If somebody spoke to you they did not have to speak to you. If somebody gave you everything that you had to give, they wouldn't do that. You see what I'm saying? It's like almost like nobody has to do anything for the world if they don't want to. We could all sit in our own spaces and just be whoever the fuck we gonna be. Tightwads, evil people, whatever. We could plan and all this different stuff. And it's like almost like, yeah, we have to start to recognize, like, I benefit with gratitude. I'm grateful for the goodness that comes into my life. I'm grateful for the goodness that comes into my space. So I'm grateful for anything that comes in. I am peaceful. Peaceful meaning you ain't messy. It's a lot of y'all out there that's messy. And some people don't know the difference between constructive criticism and criticism. Constructive criticism and criticism. And sometimes this is where we start to see where, like, other issues come in. Like, twerking. Well, so what's she doing? Is she young? She old? Whatever. It's a part of our culture. What else can I say? Like, some things that just ain't our business, like somebody get into it or fight, it's like we don't stop it now, we record it so we can get like all these followers and stuff on whatever, so everybody can see it. It's everybody's business, and it's just really not. I am peaceful. It means that you bring peace into the situation, not chaos. So like, you know what? This is the best example too for men. So a man would do some messed up stuff, like maybe they'll cheat, and then you confront them and they're like, "Well, you up here trying to cause me pain. You the one that disturbed the peace because you were the one that went out and did those things. So why is it?" Or they'll say something crazy to you, and you be like, "What?" You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it take me a couple days to be like, "You really said that to me?" You know, my feelings would be hurt for a couple of days, and then when I finally say something, he would come back and be like, "Well, you be doing this too much. You disturb my peace," and it's like. Nah, you disturbed the peace when you did it. You know, you disturbed the peace when it came out of your mouth. It's not really you at all. It's just him. So you have to really start to think about, am I peaceful? Do I bring peace or do I bring chaos? What do I bring to the table? And then when you start to figure it out, you be like, oh, okay. You know, because that's something that you really have to deep dive into. Sometimes I've started arguments and whatever, and well, this is what it was. I thought I started an argument, and really it was just a discussion. Hey, you ever been doing that too? Like, where you just like, that's why I always have to tell my kids, no, hold the fire. I have to really do it with my son because he doesn't understand me yet. It's like, almost like, we don't need to argue about it. We just need to talk about it. But then it starts to escalate because he's still going. He's still going. And so, you know, it's like, man, really is it I'm come to you in peace. I come to you in peace. And I think that people when they're ready to fight, they don't know that. You know, that's probably how war got started. Somebody was just like, I come to you in peace. And usually the person that comes in peace is the stronger person. If you come ready to fight, if you come with a war and not ready to negotiate, sometimes that's a weak mind because it's like you have gotten to the point where you don't even know what to do. You know, and I'm at that point too. I get there too. So it's like, and you can have both minds. You can have a weak mind and a strong mind in some cases. Like, some things are going to set you off. Some things, if you can't get to where you got to go, that's going to set you off. I mean, it's okay. But you got to realize what were the steps. Was it really my fault or was it somebody else's fault? How else can I bring this peace back into myself? How else can I put this peace back into my life? So you have to really, really think about those things that are for you. You know, some people be like, well, pace around the floor. They try to give you all these tips and stuff. No, figure out what makes you feel better. You might have to go in there and make a whole cup of coffee. You might have to go on a run. You might have to just get out of the house and run up and down the street for, I don't know. You have to do something to release what's inside of you. And it's okay. You may have to masturbate. I mean, it just is up to you. You know, it's a self-soothing situation. So anyway, I am peaceful. You have to find those things to help you. See, that's why I don't understand why people say masturbation stops something. It really doesn't. It actually is a self-soothing situation. Like, for real, for real. I mean, if it's not something that's derogatory or hurting anybody else, shoot, masturbate. I'm serious. Like, it's not anything wrong with it. Somebody even said porn was an issue. Why would porn be an issue? I mean, there are two people who have decided to have sex in front of you. It's only human. And so it's like like I said, man, sometimes the way we look at stuff, it be so messed up. It's because, and this is why, because America has like all these different standards that they wanted to like make it as if they were better than other countries. And so when we saw that, when it was perceived, it was seen as negative. And now we have to start to switch that over to being something positive, or figure out how we gonna think about it, because for real, you only human. You only human. And if it's not something that's of your taste, you're not gonna like it. And that's the other thing. It's so many different levels of porn. I was looking at the porn site, man. Zane was on there. I don't know, like it's from a book or whatever, you know. So they had Zane sex scenes, and you could tell they're not real. You know, they not really touching. They look like they bumping uglies, but they really not. Like, they not having sex at all. It's not like a porn, like where it's real. You have some porn, and I guess the word porn may be throwing off for somebody. So I guess porn, you have some porn that where it's like couples kissing and hugging and loving each other. Like, it's almost like an upgrade, you know, from when I used to watch it. You know, you have some porn where it's just like it's art. Like, they are actually painting the body, painting the vagina. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like being very sensual, not even really having sex. They just like doing some art shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like porn for everybody. Like, for real, it's something out there to turn people on. So it's like almost so you can get to know yourself too, and you can get. And I mean, you can clearly do that without porn too. And I'm just saying, if you make a choice to watch it, it's other parts of it, or you make a choice to feel like, ugh, you should not do that. Like, um, really think about it. If you haven't seen enough of it and you've only seen one type of it, then yeah, it'll fuck you up. But if you really kind of delve into like the different types of porn, it's really kind of magical. It's really like you will start to see, well, it's not really that bad. It's not. It's just an enhancement to what you're already doing. It's also lessons in love and stuff. I mean, if you in love making, I think it helps. I don't think that it's a bad thing. I don't know how to cuss it out. I have not reached a point to where I don't feel anything physically or non-physically for anybody. I think drugs and porn, that's the one that does not mix. But as far as porn and sexual self-actualization, I mean, not self-actualization, but just like the form of, there's like the look, you know what I'm saying, just getting sex, just getting your rocks off. I think it does what it does. I think it's something that is very beautiful for everybody. I apologize if you don't agree, but that's just how it is. I respect the property of others. Even when you mad, like, this is something, man, that I had to learn for. Oh my God, I remember, man, because I have anger issues. I know people don't know that about me because they meet me and they like, oh my God, she was so nice. She said thank you. No, I am. I'm actually a nice person, but I have been pushed to my limits a lot of times. And a lot of times when I was younger, man, they used to fucking piss me the fuck off. You hear me? And so I would just be like quiet. Like, I don't bother people. So if I don't bother you, that means that I really don't want to fuck with you, right? I'm not fucking with you. Like, I'm not giving you beef or nothing. Like, I don't really fucking want to even talk to you. I have a personality. I just don't want to show you. So, they would push me. And then that temple come out, and it's like, I got to strike, and then I go back to being my fucking self. Like, I'm just like, so in that time, sometimes, like, as I got older, I wasn't able to actually strike. Like, I stopped hitting people because I knew I might get a case or something, like, fuck that. So, and I wanted things in my life. I didn't want to be in jail. So I would just, like, break shit. I mean, I would just fuck some shit up. Like, I just be breaking stuff, knocking shit over on the, just all that shit. And then I was like, man, I be fucking my own shit up, because then I gotta go buy the shit again or whatever, or clean it up. So, I respect the property of others. Make sure you respect your own property too, especially with, I don't know if I'm an omnivert, because sometimes I'm introverted, but then other times I'm extroverted. So it's like, especially when you can't get that pain out, like, it's like, oh man, just respect the property of others. Don't hurt other people's things. Like, make sure you take care of themselves just as you, and that's something else too. Make sure you take care of their things just as well as you take care of your own. So I had a class, man, and they would just throw stuff on the floor and step on it. They'd ask their friend for their jacket and then walk on the jacket. You be like, what the heck is it? Like, I'm like, why do y'all do that? That's your friend stuff. I would never have thought to hurt my friend's stuff. Even if I got mad at him, I would like actually just try to box it up and give it back to him. And I wouldn't rip anything. I wouldn't tear anything. I don't break anything. And it's like, I just never knew that people would do that. I had never seen, that was a new one for me. In all my years, that was new. I was like, this is some real stuff. That's when I noticed. I was like, something wrong. Something is wrong here. Something is not right. And that's when you start to notice, okay, are the parents at home? What's going on? Because why would you do that? And is that something that their parents do? And who taught them? And then you meet the parent, and then the parent is blaming the school system, and the school system is blamed. It's like, man, we got to get out of that loop. How do we stop the loop? Well, first off, I'm going to tell you, okay, some of this could be my fault. As a teacher, some of it could be my fault because I'm not able to reach a child because me and you not working together. Just anything. But I respect the property of others, and that's the whole thing. It's like, you have to do that. Slashing tires, breaking windows, all those different things, man. You don't want to do that. You want to start to teach yourself that it's not necessary. I did this one time. Once I sat outside some man's house, and I wanted to see how far I could go. I wanted to see how crazy I could get. I think this is when I realized I was probably an actress. So I sat outside this house and fought him. I fought him. I fought him. And I waited for him and the girl to come out. I didn't care. I didn't even want him, y'all. I'm telling you the truth. I didn't even want him. I'm talking about nothing inside of me really wanted to be with him. I was actually happy because we were not able to have sex. You know, he wasn't really nice to me, none of that stuff. So I just wanted to be like, I just wanted to give him the scene and cut, you know. And so, and I did it. You know, I did it. I wanted to see what would happen if I did it. And I did it. You know, and after that, that was it. That was it. It was over. And I didn't mess with him anymore. I wasn't stalking him and nothing like that. I just wanted to have my scene. I even went and got a stick. I sat outside the door. I mean, I was just so infantile with it, you know. But at the same time, it was like I had to learn that he is not my property and I'm not his property. And I had to respect it. You know, I had to respect his space. So even when it says property, I believe that's space and time and energy of other people, you know. I affirm that all life is sacred. Oh, that's that vegetarian stuff, y'all. So let me tell y'all the first time I went okay, I did go vegetarian in high school. My grandmother got mad at me and made me eat meat. She actually put it in my mouth, y'all, with her with her fingers. So then the second time I became vegetarian was in college. After I had my spiritual awakening, I was just like, forget this. I cannot be a drinker anymore. So I started eating vegetables again. And I started looking at these films and stuff about rabbits and how they kill them with the makeup and stuff. I was like, they do that with the makeup? Like, they kill rabbits with the makeup? I mean, that was so perplexing to me. Like, how they kill them with the makeup? Like, I could never do this again. It was rabbits, you know. I just like straight up cut out meat. But yeah, it's just like, I affirm that all life is sacred. That is like where my eye is probably going to be like, no, Shantae, put the meat down. I mean, because sometimes I just want to taste a little piece. Then sometimes, oh my God, I just found this Simply Organic chicken. I do love freaking free range chicken, y'all. Let me tell y'all, I have actually put this stuff in the oven and forgot to season it. I forgot. And that's why white people probably feel like they don't need to season their food. I'm telling you. Because if it's fresh, anyway, because they did not freeze it. It comes straight from the farm to the store. Either way, it's still nasty. I'm telling you, because if it got any salmonella, anything like that on there, I mean, for real, it probably is gross. But I have forgotten to season the chicken. I put it in the oven. I mean, I didn't put juices, berries, or nothing. It was so succulent when it came out. This is a hard one for me because I'm like, what the hell? Like, it is some good stuff. Like, I really, 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 really like free range chicken. It's just something about the deliciousness of everything. Oh, it was so good. Each bite. And let me tell you something else. I didn't even use any sauce because I was like, oh man, I forgot to season. So I tasted it so I could see how I could season it a little bit, you know, hook it up. I didn't even have to hook it up. No sauce, nothing. This is free range chicken. I'm telling you, I don't know if people agree or disagree. Ain't no other chicken like this. I'm talking about it was a whole new flavor for me, like just a whole new taste. It was good. I'm gonna go ahead and do 10 because I'm like, okay, I'll do 7. I give offerings that are genuine. I do. Now, sometimes, because y'all ever be offered something, y'all be like, I ain't gonna, is this motherfucker serious? You know, it's just, no. So, yeah, I mean, my real people they know that I don't play when it comes to giving me a gift. You know, I'm for real, but me, myself, I give offerings that are genuine. I do. I want to know who you are in order for me to be able to offer you something. You know, and as far as myself, I feel like I am a good offering. I know. I know. I'm such a stuck-up bitch. But I'm not. I'm a snob. I'm not. Okay, but yeah, I do. I feel like, what I offer to people is genuine. And now, because I don't have as much money, I offer a meal. But I always offer something. Like, so serious. Like, I always offer something because I feel like if you get to know people, you want to give them stuff. Like, I don't know why. Maybe I'm a gifter. Maybe but that's not really my love language. I like to be touched and held and all that stuff. That's my love. Whew. Oh, my love language, Jesus Christ. I love it. But I am a Virgo. So, but I do. I like gifts that are important to me. Like if somebody was like, to give me something because I told him a story about when I was younger and now I miss it. Do you know I would like hold it forever. Like it is just something about things like that. Like they have to mean something to me. And it has to be of good quality. And that's where some people get it wrong at because I can turn trash into treasure, but I don't want to turn all trash into treasure. That's the whole thing. You know, people forget about that part. Like it's like I don't know, sometimes I just don't want that. I don't want to bleach it. I don't want to feel like later it could have worms coming out of it. Y'all, it'd be like a piece of wood. I'd be like, nope. I'd be thinking that's gonna have worms coming out of it later. You know, like it's just some stuff I just don't fuck with. But then, if you know me, you know what I fuck with. So then they know to make the better choice because I've already cussed them out about it. So yes, like I give offerings that are genuine. That is good. I live in truth. I do. I do. Even the truth that hurts. Whew, I live in all of it. And it's like, and my son does too. I think it's just something natural for us. It's just confession. That's all it is confession and it's love and confession. Um, I do. I live in my truth because I don't want you to be in my situation. Okay, this is what happens if I don't live in my truth. And I don't know how other people get through it like this. If I don't live in my truth, if I get mad at you, it's coming out. So I prefer to say, your breath stinks. If a person is really in my life, we gonna fix your breath. Let's figure out how to fix your halitosis. You know, if I don't know you, I really don't care because I don't have to see you as much. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like if we really have a problem, I'm gonna tell you. If I'm really that close to you, I'm gonna tell you, like, I don't like that. You know, because I have to, because it'll be something that will actually come between us in the end. Now, if and I think it goes back to where I honor virtue. You live in truth and honor virtue, they kind of the same thing. But yeah, it's like I have to be able to tell you because I don't want that to come back up in that way. I don't want it to come back up. And this is where people get me wrong at because they'll think it's going to come back up when I have an argument with them. I'm not going to bring it back up. If we already talked about it and discussed it, that's not something we should even be arguing about. And the other thing is, I'm a lover, not an arguer. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I just really want us to get done talking about this so we can go ahead and like make up. You know, like, let's just make love. You know, like, it's like, why waste this time, baby? Why? What are we talking about this for? I agree with you. You can take out the trash on Tuesdays. And let's move on. You know, like it's like I don't want to sit there. I like to have a discussion, you know, and I don't feel like it's too many discussions where I get mad about it. Now that I have seen the world and its evilness, it's like, nah. How much of it can I now that I've seen the world its evilness, how much more of it will I be surprised by? I don't think too much more. So I don't even feel like I would even get that mad at the person I love or that I'm into a relationship with as far as like, you know, and if that's the case, if I have to get that upset, that person is not for me. And I decided that a long time ago. Like, if we have to get that mad, you need to get the fuck on. I'm not the woman for you. I'm just not. You know, if you have to say those things to me in that way, then guess what? This is not gonna work out. It's like I'm so tired of immaturity and things where we can't discuss what's going on. Or it's like or it even is a discussion. You know, I don't know. It's like I'm sort of past all that. I would prefer to do that with my child and not another adult. So, I don't know. I live in truth because I don't like to be bottled up with stuff like that. I don't like to be, and I'm talking about I go hard. If I think you racist and I'm in a relationship with a person, I'm gonna tell you that was racist. What you did was wrong. So they have to be ready to be hit with that, you know. And I have to be ready too, you know. That's what I'm saying because it's like I'm not perfect either. So I mean, I'm gonna be hit with some stuff too, you know. I mean, so it's like you just have to be ready for that because. I mean, and it's not that I'm leaving you or anything like that, or I just think you an awful person. No, it's like, I just feel like we need to talk about it. Even if I'm dating a black person, it's the same thing. Like, I think that was, like, kind of messed up what you did, you know, or not. You know, so it's almost like I I live in my truth. I don't have, and just because I say it to you don't mean I judge you for it. It's just, and I know that's a judgment by saying I think that's messed up, but the judgment comes in is when you don't want to correct it, or when you feel like you at an absolute all, whatever, But I don't even feel that either. It's like now I want that person that is the person for me. That's why it's like I would prefer to just like wait and settle down, or try to be with somebody that's for me. At this point, I don't know, but living in truth, that's what I mean. And I'm like that pretty much with everybody. Like I try to stay honest. I do. I try to be like, okay, that is not. I don't feel that right there. And then sometimes I don't. Sometimes I don't say anything because I feel like it's not my place, really to say that. If you feel like that's you, then baby, that's you. I'm not trying to change something that you already know really makes you feel something. But this is what I was going to get to too. Some people will actually feel guilty after the whole thing is over because they didn't get a chance to live in the truth. And that's where the anxiety and all that stuff comes in. You have to be open to the discussion after the discussion is over, because the other person may have had time to think about it, and now their ideas or thoughts may change. Maybe they have questions or whatever. So it's okay to revisit those things. So as far as that goes, I feel like some discussions don't need to be closed. I don't think most of them don't need to be closed, because it's always going to be like something else on the tail end of that you have to think about. And if that person doesn't make you feel good about it, and you feel uneasy about it, you are going to then have a lot. You know what I'm saying? That person will have a lot on their heart. If you love a person, or even if you care about them, you don't want them to continue to have that feeling on their heart. So you want to give them a chance to go ahead and keep talking about it. If that's the case, if it's not annoying, if it's not, because sometimes it does get that way. But I'm just saying, you want to give them a chance to go ahead and get it out. Just let them know. So then they don't feel like, like they still got something to say, or you kind of got over on them, or you came to a decision that you didn't really want to come to. And so I think that's something else that we have to start to revisit in relationships, especially with women, because men will do this a lot, and other women too. Bullies do this a lot, where they set up a situation where it's almost like they have the perfect answer, or they're doing something for you, and they really not doing anything for you at all. They're not changing it. They're not moving it. They're not trying to get through to you about anything. They just want to keep doing it the same way. But that's what bullies and abusers do. And so you start to think, okay, well, how do I get this? But how do I get this person away from me? Because it's a battle that you will never win, because they don't want you to. So anyway, yeah, I just really, really, as far as I live in truth, I try to unless I'm deterred or deferred by some evil enemy, some nemesis. I don't have time for that shit. But yeah, that's just how it is, So anyway, again, those 7 teachings were: I honor virtue, I benefit with gratitude, I am peaceful, I respect the property of others, I affirm that all life is sacred, I give offerings that are genuine, I live in truth. Again, for the affirm that all life is sacred, the best one I heard was from his name Waka Flocka, where he was saying that the pain of the animal, you could actually eat that too. I mean, I believe that too. I do, but that's something else. I think recognizing that animals are sacred is a beautiful thing. I do. I don't know. It's like all life is sacred. Really, all of it is. So, yeah, it is. All life is sacred. You have to recognize that. And I think that comes back to being grateful and gracious. Just recognizing that it does matter. Yeah. Recognizing that life does matter. Okay? So, anyway, it's Shante with a Sunday installment of Brown Sugar Talk, darling. And today I'm coming to you with one from Peter Claver. Claver. I don't know, but he's a saint. And then also from 7 Ideals of Ma'at. And it's 42. So this will give me 6 Sundays? Hey! Anyway, bye. Have a good day.